Well, I guess before the gendarmerie come to investigate the mysterious white powder that I'm smuggling, I probably should tell the story. And it's one of those bizarre pieces of rural living. We go back many months now, before I got these onions planted, to a day when I was sat in the kitchen of Nicole's house. And, we were sat there, and a van pulled up outside, and it was her grandson, young Louis. Now, I don't know what you did to your grandmothers, but Louis, well, he can be quite comically interesting at times, and he turned up, and under his arm was a very big chick. And it was too big to be a chicken, and it was big enough that it could have been a duck, but it was actually a goose. And this was a present for his grandmother. What else would you give your grandmother? A box of chocolates? No, a goose chick. Anyway, the goose was duly put with the chickens and became good friends with them and ran about and did all the goosey sorts of things. And I kept asking, is it a little boy goose or is it a little girl goose? And no one actually knew. And amongst us, between us, none of us knew how to examine a goose chick to work out if it was a chap or a gal. Anyway, said goose has become very much at home with the hens and guards and protects them, and if you walk down the garden comes to announce your presence, as geese do. And last Wednesday, Nicole was incredibly excited because the goose, in the best way possible, had identified itself as being a girl. She had laid an egg. Yeah, which brings us to why I'm smuggling white powder. Look at those beautiful photinias. Over crepes, Nicole said to me, have you got any plaster? And I said, yes, I have, but the bag has been open for some time, and bags of plaster that have been open for some time aren't always the best, are they? So she said, could I give her some? And I said, yes. I said, oh, not a problem, I'll give you some plaster. How much do you want? And she explained that she wanted enough to fill a goose egg. Because it's wonderful if you've got chickens, geese, ducks that are laying eggs, especially if you like eating them. But the problem is, very often, geese, chickens, ducks, they think that eggs are going to turn into chicks. And they sit on them, and sometimes they manage to break them. And they become distressed sometimes when you take their eggs away from them. So what you do is, the first egg that you've got, you very carefully empty it out and presumably make a goose egg omelette or something. And then you fill it with plaster, wet, runny, mixed plaster. And every time the goose lays an egg and you go out and you steal the goose's egg, you put a plaster one in its place, and that keeps them happy. So I'm told. I'm not a goose psychologist. So there we are. That is why I've got an old bread bag with enough plaster dust in it to cast a plaster goose egg. Sometimes the truth is stranger than the fiction, isn't it? I just have this wacky vision of the local constabulary, the local gendarmerie, stopping me and saying, "Bonjour, monsieur," and asking for me driving licence and me insurance and things like that, and then discovering a bag of mysterious white powder. And I just imagine a young gendarme who hasn't seen a lot of life getting all excited and asking me what the powder is. You know, this crazy Englishman got a bag and he says it's plaster. And he says it's for making a plaster cast of a goose egg. Yeah, anyway, that's that. Oh, look. Leaves on the gooseberries. That's a good sign.